what is it about ethical hacking, right? So ethical hacking, at the end of the day, ethical hacking is just simply hacking, right? Again, like I said, the only difference that you really deal with is whether or not what your intent is, right? Do you have bad intent or good intent? And then there is, kind of a group in the middle that usually starts off good and then kind of veers off a little bit with what their ultimate end state is. It's not that the intent changed. It's just the end state kind of goes left to center a little bit. So the need for ethical hackers is doing nothing but growing. Why do we need them? Because there are more and more bad guys. So hence we need more and more good guys to be able to counter those efforts. Whether they're efforts either from a nation state, corporate espionage, individuals in the corners of the world that just are kind of hacking for fun, right? We usually call those script kiddies, for instance. They have no real end state in mind. They just want to see if they can do it. And because they're ever growing, and because hacking kits are more and more prevalent, for some exploits, actually a lot of exploits, you don't really need a whole lot of skill because the tool will do it for you, right? So that is where the growth for ethical hackers, or the need for ethical hackers, really expands, right? The attack vectors are expanding. However, the cybersecurity professionals that actually do this for a living is not expanding at the same rate. So what are the different types of hackers that we deal with, right? So we deal with black hats, white hats, and gray hats. What are they? So black hat hackers are the bad guys. They're the ones that wish you and your organization ill intent, whether it is to steal corporate data or your own personal data, or kind of anywhere in between. So we call those black hat hackers. Say that 5 times fast. The white hat hackers, the other side of the spectrum. They're there to aid in defense of your organization, or maybe a small company, or just on behalf of individuals. Even though I do have a full-time job, per se, I still do that type of consulting on the side. Matter of fact, I just finished doing a project or an effort for a family friend, right? That his company got hacked and hit with ransomware, and I went in and did the initial forensics and worked with the FBI to collect the evidence and audit logs and things like that, and then get them back up and running, right? So you can put me strongly in the good guy category, right? And then there are the gray hat hackers. These are, as far as skill, very much identical to the black hat and the white hat. The difference is, like I said earlier, kind of intent, right? Most gray hat hackers, they will hack systems and enclaves, networks, individuals to show a weakness. Usually they convince themselves they're doing it for the public good, right? That I'm doing this to show you have a weakness, to give you an opportunity to fix it. One of the more, we'll say, notorious gray hat activities happened in, I'm going to date myself a little bit, but I see if I can think back. I think it was 2009 at the Black Hat DEF CON conference in Las Vegas. Young man figured out with about $30 worth of worth of equipment that he purchased on Amazon that he could hack GSM phones. And he went to the major carriers at the time, right? So I believe it AT&T, Verizon. There used to be one other GSM carrier. I can't remember who they are. And showed them this vulnerability, showed them it was possible with, a little over, $20 worth of gear off of Amazon, and gave them the opportunity to fix it. About 9 months went by, and they still hadn't fixed it. So he gave them one more opportunity, but this time put an ultimatum to them that if you don't fix it within the next 6 months, I'm going to write the white paper and present it at Black Hat. They didn't do it, right? AT&T, Verizon, and I can't remember the third one. They didn't fix the weakness in their system. So he did. He fulfilled on his promise. He wrote the white paper and presented it at Black Hat. That is the classic gray hat hacker. He didn't do it because he wished anyone harm. He actually did it to show it could be done and give the companies an opportunity to fix the weakness. Where he may have, and this is all really dependent on you and yourselves, you may believe, for instance, he did the right thing by, publishing the paper and doing the presentation at Black Hat. You may feel that he did not, right? Maybe you feel that, by publishing this weakness, all it did was give a roadmap to other bad guys that did have actual ill intent for people or, organizations or what have you. And that's the tricky part with gray hat hackers, right? They impose their own sense of moral and ethic on the public as to what they feel, or in this case, what he felt the company should have done to fix the weakness, without any other regard for why they may not have done it, right? So those are our three kind of classes of hackers, right? Black hats, white hats, gray hats. A little bit of Trivial Pursuit knowledge for you. How did we get black hats, white hats, and gray hats? Well, it began with, and again, I'll date myself here, old Westerns, right? I don't know how old each of our attendees are, but you may remember there was, before we had color television, we had only black and white. And in the old Westerns, the way you knew who the good guys and the bad guys were by looking at the color of their hats. The bad guys wore black and had black cowboy hats, and the good guys wore white cowboy hats. And so, hence, fast forward 60 years or so, and now we have black hat hackers, white hat hackers, and gray hat hackers. So there you go. That may win you a couple triangles in Trivial Pursuit somewhere. So what are the 5 phases of ethical hacking? And you see I highlighted ethical because you could take out that word and it'd still be the same 5 phases, right? So everything starts with reconnaissance, then you move into scanning. Once you've completed scanning, you'll move into gaining access, then attempting to maintain access, and then ultimately clear your tracks, right? Clear out from being detected, not only that you were there, but also the activities that you performed while you